Welcome back to another mural video, everyone. It's been a while since I've posted a mural here up on the channel. Been a little while in between drinks, so to speak, and yeah, I had an absolute blast with this project. It was heaps of fun working on a large-scale piece again. This project was at a accounting office, and the office building was pretty dated. It doesn't look like anything had been sort of updated there in a good 20 years or so. There was just a bunch of blank, stagnant, white walls. So yeah, the idea was sort of just to breathe some life into the building for the employees to enjoy and sort of just bring up the overall vibe and atmosphere of the office. So the design that we ended up deciding upon was this typographic piece. EPIC sort of is an acronym for the business or company's sort of morals and values, and you're going to see a little bit more of that later on. So it was a bit of an interesting piece because it was kind of challenging, I guess, to create something interesting and vibrant out of quite a wordy composition or design. As you're going to see a little bit later, there's a lot of words that make their way into the final design. But yeah, we had a few back and forth. So originally they wanted to have a portrait of different people who represented each of these values inside of the layers and inside of the letters, which was a really cool idea, but they were sort of struggling in deciding who they wanted. So we kind of stripped it back and focused more on the typography itself, and this is what we came up with. Alright, so we're back on the wall today. I'm actually going to be the only one in the office for the rest of the week, which is nice because I'm not going to have to wear a mask. I've just come down to Mitre 10 to grab some more tape. I was originally going to hand paint the stroke or the outline for the letters, but I've decided to just tape it out just so we have nice and consistent weights across all of the letters. So yeah, I've just come down and grab some tape. I've taped off the E already, the first letter. So we'll head back, tape off the rest of the letters, and should be a good day back on the wall. So you're going to see me go through quite a lot of tape in this video. As I said, I hadn't really done a typography piece like this before, so what I did to sort of make it a little bit easier for me to break it down and understand how I was going to paint it before I got there on the day is that I separated the layers, which I'll just throw up on the screen now, and that sort of gave me blueprints for each step as to how I was going to approach this. And yeah, I just decided to use a lot of tape just so I was getting really straight and consistent lines, as because it is a typography piece and it's quite symmetrical, it was really important that all of the letters and all of the strokes were all the same weight, same length, same height, and all the rest. But overall, I was really happy with how it all tied together, especially how tight and clean all the layers sort of came through. And yeah, it sort of inspired me to work on more pieces like this in the future and sort of add this style to my arsenal, I guess, so to speak. But yeah, surprisingly went through a lot of tape. I went through probably 3 or 4 rolls, filled up a good garbage bag full of used up tape. And yeah, this was sort of the final result. We came up with 2 options. One had the shadow in the within the shadow, I guess, on that bottom layer, one without, but the shadow sort of added this additional 3D effect, so that's what we landed on. So we just finished off the outline on this piece. All I have left to do now is finish up the wording on the lower and the top section, and then this piece is getting pretty close to being finished. I've just got a couple of small pieces that I want to tidy up. So whilst we wait for the outline on this one to dry, we're going to jump across to the second wall, and the rest of the afternoon I'm just going to paint in the background the base layer for that coat, and that will see us out to the end of the day today. So here you're going to start to see me fill in the intersections of the text. So essentially all I did was chalk in all of the letters and words previously, and now I'm just going over the top in different colors of paint. The white is always a bit of a challenge. It took a few layers to sort of get that nice and solid and lose that transparency, whereas the darker color held up a lot better. But yeah, overall, I was really sort of happy with how we implemented the quotes and additional words into the overall design. It sort of fell into this secondary section of the piece and allowed that like epic and all the colors to really pop whilst having this sort of inner layer and deeper meaning, I guess. And then right now you're going to see me jump across to the smaller wall. So the smaller wall I sort of approached the same way as the larger main wall, just starting with that base layer, starting with silhouettes of the letters themselves, and then just starting to build up those orange tones and colors before adding the stroke over the top. And the other thing they sort of decided to include on this design was an additional phrase on top of the RK, which sort of tied that wall together nicely and separated it from the other one. And then just to the left of this wall, there is also a additional quote which sort of greets potential guests or employees as they walk into the space. But yeah, overall, I think this wall tied in really nicely, and I'm glad they sort of decided to stick thematically and stylistically with the other design. It just sort of pulls the office together really nicely. But yeah, I got another tape peel here for you. There was plenty of tape peels going on throughout the days. Overall, though, yeah, it was a really fun project, and it was nice to sort of challenge myself and work on something that was different than what I would normally approach. And as I sort of mentioned earlier, it's just sort of nice to add this to my arsenal of styles or things that I can do. And they've gone ahead and decided to do a couple more walls throughout the office, so you'll see some updates in future videos coming up on that. But yeah, I had a ball with this project. It was really nice to just be out there painting on some large scale walls again, and hopefully this will sort of kickstart murals back into effect for me, and hopefully COVID allows that to be so. As I mentioned earlier in the video, there was a recent outbreak, but things seem to be quieting down a bit again. We're coming out of lockdown again, so hopefully things stay that way and I can get back to grinding out some decent work. But I hope you've enjoyed the mural video. I hope you made it this far. If you did make it this far, chuck a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the style and if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. But yeah, for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.